Deep in the ancient desert, legends speak of a city built entirely of pure glass, shining like a fallen star forevermore. They called it Vitrea, the kingdom of glass, a civilization that valued transparency above all other human things today. Every wall, every tower, and every street was made of crystal, allowing the sun to illuminate every single dark corner now. There were no secrets in Vitrea, for nothing could be hidden behind walls that were as clear as the morning air itself now. The people believed they were pure, for the light passed through them without casting a single shadow on the ground below. Their king was obsessed with perfection, demanding that every flaw in the glass be polished away until nothing remained. He built a massive spire in the center of the city, a needle of diamond that pierced the sky to catch the very first light. But glass is a deceptive material. It is strong against the wind, yet it remains brittle against the slightest sharp blow. As the city grew taller, the strain on the crystal foundations began to grow, unseen by the eyes of the arrogant rulers. The king demanded the city grow higher, reaching for the sun, believing that his empire was destined to last for eternity. But deep beneath the city, the earth began to shift, a subtle vibration that hummed through the rigid crystal structures. A sound was born, a low frequency that human ears could not hear, but the glass walls began to sing in a deadly harmony. The people of Vitrea continued their lives, unaware that the very beauty of their home was amplifying the danger beneath. It started with a single hairline fracture in the great hall, a tiny white line that appeared on the king's royal throne. The king ordered the crack to be covered, refusing to admit that his perfect kingdom could ever bear a single ugly flaw. But the vibration grew louder, a resonant frequency that began to shake the teacups on the tables of the noble houses. Birds stopped flying over the city, sensing the pressure building in the air, a tension that felt like a held breath now. The light of the sun seemed to fracture as it passed through the towers, creating rainbows that looked like warning signs. Then came the day of the great shattering, a moment frozen in the history of this world as the end of all crystal pride. A single bell was rung in the high tower, a ceremonial note that hit the exact pitch needed to break the empire apart. The sound wave traveled through the spine of the city, finding the weakness in every wall and every single tall window. In an instant, the silence was broken by the loudest sound ever heard, as 1,000 years of history exploded at once. The massive towers did not fall over, they simply disintegrated into 1,000,000,000,000 shards of razor-sharp, raining diamond. The sky turned white with dust, a cloud of glass that shimmered with a deadly beauty as it fell upon the screaming city. There was nowhere to hide, for the shelters were made of the same glass that was now raining down from the sky above. The king sat on his throne as the roof above him turned into dust, watching his legacy vanish in a blink of an eye now. The glorious kingdom of glass was reduced to a sea of sand and shards, burying its people under their own ambition today. Silence returned to the desert instantly, leaving only the sound of the wind whistling through the jagged ruins left. Travelers who pass by the region today claim they can still hear the city singing when the wind hits the broken glass. They say the spirits of the Vitreans are trapped in the reflections, forever searching for the perfection they lost then. It is a ghost story told to children, a warning about the dangers of demanding a world without any secrets or shadows. The ruins still stand, half buried in the white sand, glowing deeply in the moonlight like the bones of a dead giant. Some scavengers try to steal the glass, but they say it is cursed, cutting the hands of anyone who tries to take it. The lesson of Vitrea is clear. Perfection is an illusion, and the things that refuse to bend are the first ones to break. We build our own lives like glass towers, projecting an image of clarity while hiding the cracks that formed deep inside. But unlike the Vitreans, we have the chance to repair our flaws before the resonance brings our whole world down today. The kingdom of glass remains a beautiful tragedy, a monument to the human desire to be something more than we truly are. As the sun sets over the white desert, the sands glitter with the dust of the fallen empire, a sea of broken memories. History often forgets the fragile, but the legend of the glass empire endures as a whisper in the shifting desert wind. If you listen closely to the silence, you might hear the final bell ringing, the note that ended a golden age forever. The desert keeps its secrets well, burying the truth under layers of time, waiting for the next empire to rise again. So remember the king of glass who looked at the sun and thought he was equal to it, only to be blinded by his own light. For in the end, we are not made of glass. We are made of flesh and blood, designed to bend, to heal, and to survive. The empire that shattered itself is gone, but the shards remain, reflecting the stars in the cold desert night. This was the story of Vitrea, a kingdom of light, a kingdom of pride, and a kingdom that broke under its own weight.